Are you looking for something to read? Don't go anywhere. Emily Giffin has a stellar record for writing books that land on bestseller lists. Now she's offering up a new novel to add to your summer reading pile. The Summer Pact follows three friends as they navigate a devastating loss and then reconnect on a trip to Italy. And we're reconnecting with Emily Giffin this morning. She is in our studio. Great to have you back. Welcome back to your morning.
So nice to be back.
And talking books, which I love.
Yes, absolutely.
Listen, this book, first of all, I want to say to everybody, it does include a trigger warning. The main focus is on a friendship and navigating the changing relationship. But part of the book deals with suicide and showing what happens in the complicated grief that comes out of a loss from suicide. Can you set this one up for us without giving too much away?
Well, it's about four friends, best friends from college, and there is a tragedy, which it involves a suicide.
Yeah.
It's in the prologue. The rest of the book is much lighter, but it is a heavy prologue, which is why I had the trigger warning. But in the aftermath of this tragedy, the friends come together and say, we're making this pact that we'll always be together if any crisis should arise later in our lives. 10 years later, another such crisis, they make good on their promise, they come together and they travel to Italy.
Oh.
So to work out, their issues and problems.
Great settings.
About friendship.
Yeah, great settings,
it's about
great friendship. There are three narrators for this one, which I really love. You flip back and forth, chapter by chapter. Each one is written by the characters. So you've got Hannah, who's a Southern belle. You have Lainey, the free spirit. That's Hannah's voice in my head.
Yeah.
And Tyson,
that
a lawyer.
Was good.
Thank
that
you.
Was good. Yeah, I think you nailed it.
Thank you.
And then
Tyson is this lawyer with this brilliant
Right.
mind. Who was the most challenging to write?
Well, in a lot of ways, it was a risk to write Tyson. He's a black male, and I'm obviously a white female, and so I felt that I struggled with that issue of whether I could undertake his voice and whether it was my place to write his voice. But in some ways, I had more in common with him than the two women because he is a lawyer. I'm a former lawyer. He did not like the practice. He does not like the practice of law. I did not like the practice of law. So, and we had a similar upbringing. So, in many ways, I had more in common with him, which allowed me to feel a little more comfortable with taking on that, identity. And I had authenticity readers and help from a very close black male friend to read those parts. But yeah, I would say I had probably the least in common with Lainey.
Yeah.
I want to channel my inner Lainey because she's such a fun party girl. And definitely Hannah as having a narcissistic mother. I have a very close relationship with my mother, so less in common there too.
Yeah.
But they're white females, so that was an easier for me.
At one point, they all end up in Capri, and the level of detail that goes into describing the stairs and the landscape and the store and the handmade sandals, you almost feel like you're on vacation there with them. Tell me about the research that went into
the
this.
research trip was really amazing. So of course I had to go, set a book somewhere. And really these friends could have traveled anywhere. Italy becomes the backdrop, but they could have gone anywhere. So I decided to take them to where I wanted to go and went there. And I coupled it actually with, it was the first week in May last year, and I coupled it with the King's coronation.
Yes.
So I just popped over
I love it.
I had to get there for the coronation.
Let's chat royals really quickly before you go. This photo, you and I share something in common, talk about commonalities. We both are big fans of the royals. So you met Queen Camilla last month. What was going through your mind when this photo was taken?
It was surreal. I would say it was a bucket list, but it's not a bucket list because it's nothing that I could have controlled. I just happened to get invited to this.
Yeah.
But I told her in that moment, it was an honor of a lifetime. And then I said, I slept on the street for your coronation. And she said, you didn't. And there's a picture on my Instagram where you can see her face. She's like, you didn't. And I said, I did. And it was an honor of a lifetime. And she was extremely charming and beautiful, beautiful in person. Perfect skin, beautiful hair.
Wow.
And then I went into the corner after I met her and cried because I was so overwhelmed by this meeting. But it really was an honor, and I nailed my curtsy.
I was going to ask, how the curtsy went?
Well, as an American, there's not an
opportunity,
there's not a requirement to curtsy, but it's optional. And of course, I've been practicing that curtsy for my entire life. So I think I nailed it. I hope I did. But.
Well, if you curtsy as well as you write books, I know you did a really great job. Emily Giffin's new book is called The Summer Pact. Definitely one to read this season. Thanks a lot, Emily.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.